Hello and welcome to Fraggle Talk Classic, the unofficial Fraggle Rock podcast brought to you by toughpigs.com. My name is Beth and I am rewatching for the millionth time.
My name is Julia and I'm rewatching for the first time in 10 years.
My name is Adam and I reject the tyranny of numbers. There is only the concept of novelty. This is not the first time. There simply was no time, and now there is.
Dude. Heavy.
It's been a week, y'all.
Oh no.
Public school system's not doing great. Surprise.
You know what's making me super excited, though?
What?
We have a very, very special guest with us today.
We do have an amazing special guest.
Special guest, who are you?
Well, today I'm Dan Garza, and I'm happy to be here. And let me see, the last time I saw this episode, I was prepping for season 2 of Fraggle Rock Back to the Rock, now available on Apple TV Plus.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like to watch old episodes when I'm up there to keep me like in the of what Fraggle is. So
Awesome.
yeah. Plus, you get to poke Karen Prell with a stick and say, "What happened here? What'd you do here? What'd you do there?"
The dream.
Yeah.
To have Karen Prell within poking with a stick reach.
Poking range.
To ask for all the details.
And to have a stick, that's 2 wins. Everybody loves a good poke and stick.
So, Dan Garza, you are the new voice behind Junior Gorg for Back to the Rock, among other characters, of course.
Theoretically inside Junior Gorg, but that's Benny. So I share the role with Ben Durocher, who is my body, and with whom I would simply be a disembodied head. So he's absolutely fantastic, and I love him, and I plug him every time I can.
Love solidarity among us.
Yes, he and I get to be Junior Gorg.
Yeah. Hey, Ben Durocher, if you ever want on the podcast, let me know. We would love to have you.
Oh yeah. I'll pitch it to him.
You come highly recommended.
Absolutely.
I love this. I want to talk about the episode that we're doing, and I'm really excited that we have you on for the episode after this one, because that one's a big Junior episode. But
yeah,
can I ask you just one question about Junior Gorg, just to start things off?
Of course.
Do you think that he should make a union?
I don't want to speak out of turn, but I think Junior's very he's fair. I don't think he has enough members to unionize, but I'm sure he would hold meetings. He certainly has paid his dues. Oh my god. And yes, of course, I think Junior would.
Fantastic. Yeah, one of the recurring bits we have is about how they just kind of, Mom and Pa Gorg just kind of use him to do all the work.
Yeah.
And it's very thankless. And so #Junior Start a Union is one of the bits that we recur. And it is so nice to hear from the voice of Junior that is valid.
I would think so. Yeah, he just wants, fair wages, fair play.
Yeah.
Like he just wants to be treated well.
He does. And he deserves that.
Yeah. He's such a good boy.
Oh, yeah.
He's a good dude.
Oh, he's such a good boy.
Oh, there he is.
Hey.
Yeah, occasionally it'll pop out because he's such a big part of me now, which is great.
That's one of my favorite things to see, and like voice actors and people who play roles like that, is just which parts just sort of stay. I don't know if you've played Baldur's Gate 3 or if you've heard of it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy who voices Asterion says that he just has Asterian's giggle now. That's just his laugh.
Oh.
It is a trade-off. Like all of our stuff is a trade-off. Whenever we're for better or for worse sometimes, but whenever we're a character, there's this. Hey, some of me and some of you, and it becomes a thing. Oh, here, look, here's a little radish for you guys.
Glorious.
One of Junior's radishes.
Glorious.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Beth, shall we introduce which episode this is?
Yeah, so today we are discussing episode 15 of season 2, Manny's Land of Carpets, which originally aired on April 9th, 1984, written by David Young and directed by Eric Till.
Awesome. I've never not liked an episode of Fraggle Rock, but there are definitely some that I think hit a little bit better than others.
Yeah.
And to me, this is one of the ones, it hit. But like it felt a little like it was trying to go in 2 different directions in terms of just like theme.
Interesting.
And so I have a lot of stuff to say about sort of the beginning of this one, and not as much to say about the back half.
Okay. We'll see if we can flesh that out together.
Fantastic. So we open on Doc, and he's like, I've made this radio that will pick up radio stations from the other side of the world, but it's being blocked by the radio stations right next to me. And I love that his immediate response is, well, I'm going to go talk to that radio station about this and get them to stop. It's one of those, like, put a check mark in the Doc is neurodivergent column, but this one's one you could only really clock from in-house. There's a very neurodivergent way to approach a problem where if, like, there's an obstacle, the immediate thing is like, all right, here's this first obstacle, let's deal with that, instead of, okay, hold on, let me step back and see if there's a greater pattern here.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, remove the immediate obstacle. Do not look at anything else. Hyper-focus.
Yeah, precisely. But I do, it warmed my heart.
The thing that warmed my heart is that the commercial is for Manny's Land of Carpets, and it's voiced by the one and only Jerry Nelson.
Jerry Nelson!
Yeah, Jerry Nelson. I love the retro design of it with the little red bulb on top, so you know when it's on the air, I suppose.
Transmitting.
Yeah, or receiving.
Props team had a fun one with that one, yeah.
Yeah, Jerry's got such a great radio announcer voice.
He also does the burgers ad too, right? That's him as well.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it must
be
be
one
like...
he doesn't do is this Sally's Laundromat.
Yeah, like one guy in the studio who has a pile of paid endorsements that he has to read.
Yeah.
So he's got to advertise Manny's Land of Carpets, he's got to advertise Bubba's Burger Barn, but Sally's Spotless Cleaners, who we meet later, is probably like a pre-recorded thing.
Yeah, Jerry's vocal range is so inspiring, and it makes you want to work harder as a performer. So hearing him and just being able to identify him every once in a while is such a treat.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. So is this when Sprocket throws the radio in the hole?
Basically, Doc leaves, and then the radio keeps making noise, and it stresses Sprocket out, which for dogs makes a lot of sense. Strange noises can scare them, and they don't know what's going on. But his response is to then take the radio and put it in the Fraggle hole, as if to be like, it's not my problem anymore. I don't want to be around this thing.
Which, usually we see Sprocket having a lot of solidarity. This is the first time we've seen him pull some kind of NIMBY move like that. And I just, not the best move there, Sprocket. Not the best move. You have windows you could throw this out, and you have the thumbs to do it.
I'm wondering if he's killing two birds with one stone, because he's annoyed at the Fraggle hole, he's annoyed at the radio, and maybe those two things together can cancel each other out.
Ooh,
plug it up.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
he has at this point canonically only had one positive interaction with the Fraggle hole, and that was really more of a positive interaction in the span of a negative one, because they helped him get out when he was stuck in the hole.
Yeah.
So Boober sees this radio, doesn't even get the letter or the postcard. Gobo, right, Christ. Gobo sees this, doesn't even get the letter, the postcard from Traveling Matt. You think I would have said postcard right the second time I said it, but no, you'd be wrong.
Well, I was still hung up with the fact that Christ was in there. He was in the Fraggle hole too.
Have we ever heard the Fraggles say Christ?
No.
I feel like that's not a thing that's going to happen at
That
all.
would be notable.
It's one of the hardest things I have whenever I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons and running like as a DM, because it's just right there. Like if an NPC is really frustrated, they'll just be like, Christ. And then I have to stop and be like, wait, no, hold on. Paylor or Talos, somebody that's not Jesus.
D&D Christ.
Yeah, Fantasy Christ, Elf Christ. He's still alive, actually. He is 2,000 years old. He's just kicking around in a forest somewhere. Oh, man, I gotta do that now. That'd be great.
There you go.
Anyways, the point I was trying to make is Gobo sees this radio, hears this ad for Manny's Mattress Palace.
Manny's Land of Carpets.
Manny's Land of Carpets. There we go.
I actually wrote down House of Carpets when I was taking notes. I was watching the episode. I was like, Manny's House of Carpets. Like, it's not. No, it's not. It's not Manny's House. So if I misspeak, it's because I'm foolish.
If you misspeak, you are among good company.
Yep.
Well, and Gobo doesn't hear the ad right away. He just comes across. He comes across it. He's like, I don't know what this is. It must have come from outer space. I better go get my friends. And it's not till later after they've seen it, but then he's by himself where he hears the ad. But he goes to go get Boober and Wembley, who are having the most delightful conversation possibly in the entirety of what we've seen on Fraggle Rock, where they are watching laundry dry and Boober is like saying all these eloquent things about how the collar dried before the cuff, and you know, Wembley's so just in such awe and admiration of his friend, and they're like panning around them in a circle. It's just such a nice little moment on the show. I love it so much.
It's genuinely beautiful, and it's really sweet. There's this moment where Wembley's like, you know, sometimes he's like kind of shy about it. He's like, sometimes I see faces when I look at the laundry, and Boober's just like, yeah, the laundry faces, I see those.
Yeah.
And they could have just had Gobo run up to them and say a thing, but this is the through line that they've been having in season 2 about like, no, we're gonna like use these moments as an opportunity to establish rapport.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the things that I love about this show is we get to see so many good little moments of the characters just being themselves.
What I really love about this moment is like a flashback to, I want to say like episode 2, when Wembley gets captured by the Gorgs and he's, you know, explaining what all his friends are good at. And he's comes to Boober and he's like, and Boober knows things that are special to him.
And he does.
So it's clear that like he doesn't understand what it is that Boober's into, but he totally supports him. And now he's getting to experience that. It's like when your friend is info dumping at you and you're like, yes, tell me more about your special interests. This is great.
Right. Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah, I didn't know sun-dried tomatoes were so enticing.
I mean, have you tasted them? It's the best wheat thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Sorry,
you know
go ahead.
what's most enticing about this to me, from a puppetry standpoint, you know, they're sitting and they're full-bodied, and Boober has his Zen fingers going on. So his middle finger is touching his thumb, and he on both hands. Wembley only has one of them, I believe, but he's sitting there, and this is his Zen space.
Yeah,
and it just speaks volumes to, you know, to the focus, to the attention to detail that Dave would have had, or that Steve would have had on set. And I just for, you know, that those are little things that we do for ourselves when we're working. So I thought that was very cool.
One of my favorite things about this show is all of those little details. We call it no seams in the world building, because there's, you know, if you go looking, they're there, and it's brilliant.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're even giving us a chance to show this at all speaks to just really excellent storytelling craft. I think I've mentioned it on the pod before, but Nerdwriter has this really interesting video on why Zack Snyder movies kind of don't work as much. Because Zack Snyder really loves beautiful, amazing moments. But if you want to make a moment land, you need to have the scenes with those characters beforehand to build rapport.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just really pretty about somebody that we don't really know that well.
Yeah.
And these kind of scenes, this is how you do that. This is the kind of thing that you show us this, and then when we get to see them get stuck in a cave, we are there and we care and we're worried about them.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't exist. They're not isolated. Like if you look at okay, I'm going to go on a DC tangent.
Please do.
But
Awesome.
if you go into the DC world, none of them have like real friends that are around them.
Right.
Whereas Marvel characters have ancillaries that kind of rotate around the characters that are like friends and pals, and like, you know, and it makes them more human and more relatable, as opposed to I'm living in a bat cave, you know, and I'm in isolation, Fortress of Solitude. I mean, all of those things are like, they're by yourself.
Wow, I hadn't noticed that before. That's so cool.
And Fraggle Rock is all about community.
Yeah.
It's all about, like, even that weird Fraggle in the back with the tiny pupils. I mean, he's connected to this whole thing in some way, and he's living, or she or they are living their most amazing life. And that's what I love the most about Fraggle. It's so cool. Cheers.
I have one more beat to add on the DC thing, and then we should swivel back, because I don't think we've gotten even a third of the way through the episode. But one of the things that I loved about the Robert Pattinson Batman is that they leaned into the like isolation aspect of the, okay, well, what actually would that look like if this was the kind of person that this was? And so you see the Batcave, and it's a mess, and it's full of like projects that he's been working on, and half finished and half translated notes. And it's like, yeah, that is what it would actually look like if a real person isolated themselves with that kind of obsession.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and if the butler put his foot down, like, I'm not touching that.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. No, he's like, I'll clean the rest of the house. But you're good. I'm not touching that one.
Boundaries, Master Bruce.
Oh, okay. What happens next?
So
I'm lost.
Gobo runs up, like, hey, I found this cool thing. Y'all gotta come see. And they're like, nah, come sit and watch laundry with us.
Yeah.
Just so sweet.
And I forget, how does that transition to the postcard?
So, Boober.
Oh, because Boober finds the postcard in the back. He says,
Right.
oh, there's this postcard in the back of this vest that you told me to wash, which I think is kind of like, okay, he's got more than one vest now. That's great. Yeah.
Also got hats, which is always cool to see.
Yeah. The trapper hat that he's wearing is such a nod to Canada. That Gobo is wearing
Yes.
is such. He's got the two little flaps, and those things are invaluable in that weather. Trust me.
Oh, I can imagine.
The time spent up in Canada.
Mhm.
Oh my God, those things they look goofy as all hell on your head, but they are such a beautiful investment.
Oh,
You
gosh.
cover your ears, if not they fall off. You
My
end
ears
up like
get
a frog.
colds, even not in Canada. My ears get colds in California.
Yeah, how long does shooting take? How long are y'all up in Calgary for?
6 months per season.
Wow.
Wow.
And the last time we were there, got to what was it, 130 ball, like it was minus 30 or minus 40 or something like that. It was crazy.
Wow.
It was cold. There are mothers out there with little strollers, and the babies are just like summer baby. Canadian kids are so much stronger than us. I think.
Yeah.
That's wild. I still remember the only time I went to the East Coast during the winter, we'd like bundled up. It was me and my mom, and we'd like gotten on the train to go where we were going, and we got off the train, and there was a dude in like a light jacket and shorts walking his dog, and we just sort of were like, screw you, dude. Come on. Come on.
Yeah. Hey there, bud. It's sweater weather outside, eh? And I'm like, you're wearing shorts. What are you doing in a thong?
Come on now.
That's crazy.
Alrighty. So I think he just badgers them until they show up. I think he's like, no, you gotta come here. It's really important, which is very Gobo.
No, so you know what it is? So Boober, this is his first time reading a postcard.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And he reads about the wish-granting creature
Right.
the traveling Matt met.
Right. And they think that the wish-granting creature said, okay.
Yeah.
We're back on track.
So traveling Matt gets to meet Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm.
And he's standing in line with these little children who tell him all about the wish-granting creature. And when it's his turn to go up and talk to Santa and sit on Santa's lap, he says, would you mind arranging for Gobo and his friends to come up here? It would be wonderful if they could see outer space.
Yeah.
Santa looks very confused and uncomfortable.
Yes.
He says he couldn't do that, but he did say he would send you a present. So there we go. Gobo is already set up to believe that this thing that he has encountered is...
A gift.
Yes.
There's intention there. He thinks that this is like, this is from traveling Matt. This is through some kind of powerful magical being.
Yeah.
Yep. I would be remiss if I didn't note that in the previous episode, Don't Cry Over Spilt Milk, when Gobo is trying to distract Sprocket, he says, hey, look, there's Santa Claus.
Oh.
So there is hypothetically a tiny seam in the world building here.
Who seems in the world building? Which, I mean, over the course of what are we on now? On like 40 episodes?
Right.
30, high 30s? That's not bad. That's not bad.
Well, here's something interesting. We get to see the visuals when those postcards are read, but they have no idea what he's seeing except for the narration that's
Yeah.
happening.
They have no idea what the wish-granting creature looks like.
They don't know that's a Santa Claus that he ran into. We see it.
That's fair.
So yeah, I don't know. That's just
He never says Santa Claus. He just says wish granting creature.
yeah. So maybe
All right, back to just one seam in the world building. Let's go.
Yeah.
We get to see one of my favorite tropes that doesn't get explored very often, because they go back and they hear this commercial and they think that it's telling them to go somewhere to this like promised land.
Mm-hmm.
It's got big like Moses energy. And we're getting to see one of my favorite tropes, which is people seeing something without its cultural context and assuming way more importance than there actually is.
Yeah.
One of my favorite historical things is there was this piece of graffiti in Norse at the Mayshau burial mound on the Orkney Isles, and it was like way up near the ceiling, And people for the longest time assumed that it was like the title of this sacred space or like the name of the person who built it. And they finally translated it and it just said, this is very high up.
Drink your Ovaltine.
Right? Yeah, there was one that was in a cathedral, and I want to say this was in Pompeii. I don't remember. I didn't Google the details on the second one, but it was called the Halfdan inscription for so long, and I finally translated the rest of it, and it just said Halfdan was here.
Oh, I love that stuff.
There are comedians everywhere.
Oh yeah. Well, and also there's people who will see it without the context and be like, "Oh, this is clearly like deeply important instructions or something like that." Right. It's like, no, just people being people.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the Star Trek V'ger thing. Yeah. The from the movie, the first movie.
Oh, ooh, that's a callback. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, if Gobo had seen any other mysterious object, he would have said, "Oh, that's the present from the wish-granting creature."
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But yeah, so they decide, all right, well, we got to go there, clearly. And so they start rallying everybody to go to this promised land of carpets where everything is going to be amazing.
So I think it's worth noting that Boober this whole time is deeply skeptical.
Mm-hmm.
Love some Boober skepticism.
He's got a great moment where he says that thing is spooky and that he votes that they throw it down a crevasse. And the way he says crevasse is just it's over pronunciated and it's really cute as he's hiding behind a rock from it while all of them are like very in awe of this new wish granting creature.
Yeah, Dave is so great in this whole episode.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, as the episode goes on, we hear more ads come from the radio. So it's Manny's Land of Carpets. It's what is it? It's Bubba's
Burger Barn.
Bubba's Burger Barn, and then eventually the Sally Laundry one that I'm also blanking on right now. Spotless Sally Spotless
Cleaners. Yeah.
Yeah, the only one that isn't alliterative is Manny's Land of Carpets.
That's it, yeah.
The other two are, yeah.
And that one does have some assonance. There's the Manny's Land of Carpet. I guess the R is a little bit different, but you get the Manny's Land.
Yeah, it's still good to chant.
Mm-hmm.
That's the important part.
Manny's Land. And they do chant.
Well, maybe they're from Boston. They're like Manny's Land of Carpets.
Manny's Land of Carpets.
Manny's Land of Carpets. Ooh, I do like that.
There are so many Fraggles in this episode also when they're all gathered around the radio and like they show all of them being like, yeah, let's go to Manny's Land of Carpets or eventually, Bubba's Burger Barn. There's just so many of them and we start to see the division of all of their different wants of where they want to go, even though they have such little information about where they actually would be going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Gobo is the first one to hear the radio do anything while he's alone. Like no one else is hearing it at first. And he hears the commercial for Manny's Land of Carpets. And then, his friends come around and he's like, I just had the most amazing experience of my whole life. I was like, uh-oh, Gobo just found Manny. I mean, Jesus. I mean, Santa. It's all kind of the same.
It's a burning radio. Yeah.
Exactly. It really does. Like I said, it's got Moses vibes.
Mm-hmm. It does.
And so this whole, like, it feels like this sort of schism within organized religion when they're all like, no, we want to go there. No, we want to go there. No, we want to go there. And then they don't really do anything with that.
Well, so I think it's interesting that like Gobo is and then Large Marvin later, they're noticing the language that's telling them what they want to hear. So Gobo picks out, Red says, well, what's Manny's Land of Carpets? And Gobo says, it's it's this place where they guarantee your happiness. Because that's what the commercial says. Your happiness is guaranteed at Manny's. And, us silly creatures are used to hearing that kind of language in commercials and not really giving it a second thought. And we like to think, I'm above being influenced by the advertisements around me, when it's very much not the case. We're all influenced at some level. Mm-hmm. And Gobo's latching on to this phrase like, aha, this is what this means.
Yeah. My
happiness is guaranteed here. That's what we're all looking for. That's what we got to go find. And then when Large Marvin is like, oh, no, Bubba's Burger Barn, all you can eat. That's the thing that he's looking for. And so it's kind of like people latching onto the different little tidbits of what they're hoping to find.
Yeah, there definitely is also something to be said in this whole sort of metaphor about the criticism of advertising.
Mm-hmm.
and sort of the satirizing of that, and like looking at the like, oh yeah, of course these advertisements are going to promise you a divine utopia with all of your needs met, like, but that's not regulated at all, and they're allowed to overpromise all they want.
Yeah.
And you know, if we took that seriously, it would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it also falls in that whole like ocean breeze soap will get you clean. That whole like
Exactly.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something to aspire to. It's all aspirational.
Indeed.
What was I was going to say real quick about the massive scenes with all of those Fraggles.
Yeah.
Is from a puppetry standpoint, you have people doubling up, so you're double fisting puppets, and then you're staggering them. So somebody else's puppet is between your two, so they don't, because if you have them too close together, there's this tendency for them to like be slightly askew, and unless you push your elbows together. So if you have a couple staggered in between, so it's my arm and then somebody else in between my two, and then so that becomes sort of a thing. But just the sheer volume, and I mean, I don't know how many I counted, but there must have been about 8 to 10 puppeteers that it felt like were working on that shot, not including the principals, who may have also had assists, because some of their hands were doing things that were. There's one puppet that was just unnaturally praying the whole time.
Yeah.
That his hands were together the entire time. And that was interesting. But yeah, just thinking about it from a visual standpoint of like how many puppeteers are working this.
Right. That's one of the things that we talk about on occasion, is especially because Fraggle Rock is so good about filling out the foreground and the background of their shots.
Yep.
Because there's puppets in the background here too. And in other scenes where you've got puppets sitting in the back, you have to have people in the, like, the amount of work that is put into making this whole world seem alive and full is astounding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them are granted, some of them are mechanical. You can see the little sort of, it's a small world vibe that they have going on for as much as the servos are trying to ease in and ease out of those. But that's a lot of folks on our show, going back to our show. The importance of those background characters and them drawing or not drawing focus or living in their own little world is super important to giving the characters up front, I don't know, a base of reality. So if I'm doing a cave creature in the back who's just he's having the best time ever eating, whatever sort of
moss,
Fraggle ivy is down there, then that's all he's or she or they are focused on is consuming that thing and just living their best day.
Yeah. Well, and that's the best way to tell it, right? Because you have to have it be organic. It's like, what is it, Alan Tudyk putting all of his Juilliard expertise into voicing a very confused rooster.
Yes.
And every scene he's like, all right, you're confused. You don't know how you got here. That's sort of your default, but you're still not used to it. You will never be used to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember one time, because I used to LARP when I was a teenager, surprising probably no one who's listened to this. But when I went off to college, I couldn't go to games regularly, and so there would be times where I'd be like, oh, I'm in town and there's a game. Hey, do you have a character I can play? And so I did a lot of side characters, but we were going through the costumes, and there was just like a bear suit. And I was like, wait, okay, hold on. If my character dies, can I just come back as like a bear? Like, not like somebody in the whole weird sci-fi dystopia, just a bear.
Yeah.
And the writer was like, yes, totally. And so I was a bear, and my character motivation was that my back itched and I was hungry.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, those are some of the best days, man.
It was awesome.
When you're like, I'm not principal. My world is back here and I'm just having a great time.
The number of people in full like sci-fi getup who in the middle of really important scenes being like, yes, and we need to make sure that we bring this microchip all the way through to the... Is that a bear?
Yeah.
I think that's just a bear. Why is that
in the background?
rubbing my back?
Just scratching his back.
Great. Anyways.
I do want to shout out, I love this moment where they think that now not only are they able to listen to the wish-granting creature, but it can, like, listen to them.
Yeah. And
Boober says, there's something inside there that's listening to us? Oh, this is like a nightmare. And I was like, ah ha ha, look at Boober being properly suspicious of Alexa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I do want to say it is very interesting when Boober also finally gets the ad that is just for him. and all of his skepticism melts.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. So before we even hear about Bubba's Burger Barn, so far they've only heard about Manny's Land of Carpets. And they're asking Gobo, like, Gillis. Gillis Fraggle is back.
Yeah. I was just excited. I was like, Richard.
Love Gillis.
Yeah.
He says this, the first time he says this in the episode, like, that's right, Gobo, you lead and we'll follow. And he asks, what's it like in the Land of Carpets? As if Gobo will know this. And so Gobo starts to sing this song called Follow the Road. And he's just making all this stuff up. Here's all of the wonderful things that we're going to find. And then people start chiming in with their own things that they want to find. Everyone's got their own different version of paradise.
Yeah. Yeah, that's me at IHOP. I always hope that it's that what I'm seeing in the menu is going to be significantly, my imagination is going to be so much better than what's in the menu. And I'm always like that.
The trick is always to just go to IHOP at like 4 a.m, because then it will be as amazing as you think it is.
In my delirium, yeah.
Exactly. So this song, I will say this song leans a little bit more into both the aspect of the sort of religion satire critique and the advertising satire critique. Mm-hmm. And there is a parallel to be drawn here that I think could be like, they do the foundation of it. And I don't know why they didn't follow through just a little bit more clearly. I even really like, because the resolve of it, which there's some stuff that happens and then we get to the resolve, but the resolve is all about being content where you're at and not trying to sort of give in to, people saying that you need this thing that until now you didn't even think about or want. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that is a really powerful message to, arm oneself with against that kind of manipulation.
Yeah.
And it felt like all the lines there could have been just a little clearer.
I don't know. I like when old school Fraggle Rock is this intentionally vague. And it's one thing that Back to the Rock has definitely leaned more into. No, we got to be clear about this. Make sure that the youngest members of our audience are gonna, if not get like the whole picture, they at least understand what the episode was about, roughly speaking. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I kind of like these ones.
Yeah, I'm not asking them to just like beat us about the head and shoulders with it. I just feel like a little bit more would have been. I'm also holding it to the standards that I hold some of the most amazing episodes that I love too. So
that's fair.
Yeah, we've got some intense episodes in this whole little batch. Like one after another, we're gonna get a bunch of chunky episodes with some meat on the bones.
Love them. The Doc and Sprocket segment happens somewhere in here. I don't really understand the linear concept of time as I detailed earlier.
Well, so we got a couple of different Doc and Sprocket segments. We kind of breezed by the first one.
Well, the first one is so quick because, like, Sprocket, it's before they even take the radio away. Like, Gobo's gone off to get his friends. And then that was the part where I was like, oh, he's going to go back to get the radio, but the radio's going to be gone. But no, he goes and gets it. But Doc only, comes in, complains about not being able to go actually complain to the radio station and is like, I need a walk, and then leaves. And then Sprocket immediately just puts the radio back, which I guess just sets the precedent that eventually Sprocket's going to go get the radio and it's not going to be there. But that one's just super quick and pretty early on.
Yeah, so then we get the commercial for Bubba's Burger Barn, now introducing an alternative that had not existed before. Mm-hmm. At first everyone was on board with Manny's Land of Carpets. Everyone except Boober is excited about this. And now all of a sudden, here's an alternative that we could consider.
Like Christianity? Have you considered Protestantism?
You tried Hare Krishna.
Hey, Muppet movie reference.
Yeah.
That's great. Which I wish they would have done. Well, they could have done 3 times that and the miss. That's the one. That's my only thing about. I watch that movie every year, but miss. It only happens twice.
They do Hare Krishna 3 times, don't they? The third time it's on a sign.
Do they?
It's on the sign outside of the church. I'm pretty sure. So it's blinking. You'll miss it. But you are right about the miss one. They should have brought it back near the end of the movie.
Waiting for that third one.
Yeah, nearly perfect movie. Just the one thing.
9.7 out of 10.
Basically.
11.7 out of 10 with rice.
The whole thing that they have going on there with the Burger Barn and the Land of Carpets, for me, I thought, oh, could this have been like the inspiration for radishes versus strawberries?
Oh.
On our show, because it felt like the division of, and everyone's so impassioned.
I love that a lot. Yeah, if you're gonna tell accurate Fraggle Rock stories, you gotta include moments of mob mentality.
Right.
When everyone's just like very gung-ho for this thing they heard about 2 minutes ago.
So, the timeline on this one, time doesn't happen in lines. It happens in spheres and spirals. So I'm struggling to keep it all straight. Are we at the song that Gobo sings? We talked about the song that he sings with everybody.
Mm-hmm. We haven't reached the second song yet.
We haven't reached the second song.
I think that happens after Boober's message, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So Boober comes back with like a little megaphone,
right,
trying to talk some sense into everybody, to yell over all the shouting back and forth of Manny's Land of Carpets, Bubba's Burger Barn.
They made them so good for chanting. The rhythm of both of those is just perfectly chantable.
Exactly.
He megaphones into Red's mouth.
It's so good. I love that moment. Yeah, he's just leaning forward and just shoving the megaphone in Red's mouth.
Just megaphoning into Red's. I mean, is it because there are no visible ears? Is that what it is?
And Red has a big mouth that you can shove a megaphone in.
Yeah, Karen, yeah.
She leans hard into the big chatterbox.
Yeah, which is great.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's when Sally's Spotless Cleaners comes on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which, anybody else get like a vaguely seductive vibe from Sally's tone?
A little bit.
Just a little bit? Okay, not me.
But it's super clean.
Yeah.
Yes.
The dialogue is super clean. There's just that very just sort of like, oh, yes, this tone. Which I appreciated that is included there, because that is a common element to advertising.
Yep.
It just shouldn't be.
Yeah.
One thing that I did want to bring up, and I'm sure you all have mentioned it before, Fraggles with facial hair.
Yeah, we get some background Fraggles in this episode who've got some interesting facial hair, don't we?
Yeah, mustaches, goatees, yeah. Which on our new show we don't have any of. Like we don't have anyone with facial hair.
I never noticed that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess for consistency's sake, that does make sense.
Yeah.
I'm just very amused by this one guy who's got a weird little mustache and then either a small, concentrated beard or the world's largest soul patch.
It was the purple soul patch, like the big,
yeah.
The big stringy purple one, and then the other one had like Convincing John little mustache.
Oh, I missed that one.
Yeah, those were interesting.
Yeah, Traveling Matt's allowed to keep his mustache.
Yeah.
His mustache is a song. We know this.
And the way he flicks it all the time is great. I'm totally in love with the flickable mustache.
Very good. I just love anything where you look at it and you're like, man, the props department had fun with that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, Boober now gets this message that feels like it's been sent just for him. His own special place that he wants to go to that no one else seems interested in.
Mm-hmm. And so he joins the shouting match with his little megaphone.
Yeah.
Here representing the highly vocal minority within spaces of public debate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love that.
Who are willing to make up for their low numbers with volume.
And Gobo has this great moment where he's like, wait a minute. I'm like, okay, first the wish-granting creature said this, and then he said this other thing to Large Marvin. Now he's talking to Boober. Like, it sounds to me like he's trying to split us up. Like, aha.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's some wisdom right there.
Divide and conquer.
I love that they're able to sort it out without having to go see the trash heap. Like this is an internal conflict.
Yeah.
They're gonna figure it all out. But I do miss seeing Marjorie in this episode.
Yeah, we haven't gotten a lot of her in season 2.
Yeah.
Not so far, yeah. I think she's got an important one coming up soon where she's like a very key figure, but not for a few more episodes, yeah.
Miss Philo and Gunge.
Don't worry about it. They'll be around.
Did you know we also had Philo here?
No.
Yeah. Hey, fellas, what's going on here? Jeez, I'm in the presence of royalty over here. Look at that. Look at all yous.
So literally in the first episode of this podcast, I talk about how much I would love to have hype rats as a teacher. Would you mind indulging me very briefly?
What do you want?
I want to just say a teacher thing, and then would you just say, the trash teacher has spoken?
Hey,
Is that
kids,
okay? Is that an okay ask?
Yeah. Hey, kids, gather around. This here's a pile of books here. We got ourselves the best literacy program available.
All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we each get a turn to read. You're going to read the first 3 sentences, and then you're going to make sure it's his turn, and then after him it's her turn, and then their turn. No one is going to be skipping. Everyone gets a chance to read.
Yeah, no skipping. Well, nobody likes skipping.
Nobody's skipping. We want to make sure everyone gets a chance, all right? And when you're done, you raise your hand. I'll give you the worksheet. All right. No, you may not switch
Sit
groups.
Yeah. No switching groups.
Groups are here for a
make
reason.
sure your syllables are good and clear. All right?
All right. That is all I have to say.
The great teacher has spoken. Yeah.
Oh my God, dude, you're amazing. Thank you. That was glorious.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
Oh, I'm going to ride the serotonin for a while. Thank you, sir.
Oh, so yeah, Gobo's got this internal conflict. Everyone's asking Gobo to lead them.
Yeah.
And he's like talking to himself like, this is ridiculous. How am I supposed to know which way to lead them? I can't blame him for being confused, though. It's so confusing. Like, yeah, buddy, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's his Kermit in the desert moment.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, that's great.
That is an interesting conundrum. Does that get explored more later? The idea of like, what do you do when you want to lead a bunch of people who all want different things?
Sort of. I mean, so the very next thing he says is, all you can eat, guaranteed happiness, spotless laundry. Why does the wish-granting creature promise so many things in so many different voices?
Mm-hmm.
And like, I don't think that gets explicitly answered, but I'm really glad that they asked the question.
That is a very good question.
And he says, okay, something's wrong here. All those places can't be perfect. I wish I knew which voice to follow. And that's when he finds, he just stumbles into this beautiful cave where his own voice starts to echo off the walls, but just the last word of whatever he says.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which we also see in our show with the echo chamber episode.
Yes.
With the amazing Donna Kimball as Moki. That was a great time.
Oh yeah, and the visuals were so cool on that one.
Yeah, when they brought me in, they were like, "Hey, you get to be this rock back here," and I was like, "Really?" And it was just absolutely amazing. And the fact that Donna got to shoot her own camera.
Oh wow!
Oh,
she's holding that whole shot. That's her.
Yeah, where she's like spinning around.
Wow.
I never knew that.
That's amazing.
Yeah. We have footage of that somewhere where Donna's like shooting her own shot, and it's absolutely fantastic.
The cinematography, that's one of the things we've been noting for season 2 of just like classic rock. The cinematography is getting so creative.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited to see what they do in Back to the Rock.
Yay. So yeah, Gobo's starting to hear his own voice being bounced back to him in some important words. First, it's the word perfect. And then he says, I wish I knew which voice to believe. And then it echoes, believe, believe, believe. And he's like, oh, wow, it's so beautiful here. I can't imagine us all leaving. The truth is, I think we should stay here. Stay here, stay here, stay here. And in my notes, I was like, imagine there's no heaven. And Gobo's like, aha, now I know which voice to listen to.
His.
Yeah. And that is one of the things that I like treasure about like camping is you get to get away from all advertisements and you get to just be.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, it's cathartic. It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's increasingly hard to, especially with our phones, you know, we can get signal sometimes while we're camping. Check the weather, check whatever you want, but then you're inevitably going to see ads and notifications on your various apps, and it's so hard to unplug sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love going out and just being. I'll literally turn my phone off or I'll leave it in the car, which is dangerous nowadays. But I love doing that. But I should take my phone with me in case I run across Adam dressed as a bear in the middle of the forest.
Very important, very important. Or you might run into a bear in its natural habitat, a Studebaker.
So then, yeah, when Gobo gets back, that's when you've got Boober and Red yelling into each other's faces, which is now just shortened to Sally, Bubba, Sally, Bubba.
Yeah.
And they are chewing the scenery, and it's beautiful.
Yeah. They're so good at making chaotic arguments, which is wild because you know that has to be like meticulously organized, at least at the outset.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, everybody gives each other that time to be heard and to shine. So otherwise, it's just chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Are group scenes like that? I imagine to some degree they've got to be, meticulously choreographed. But then to another degree, you've got to allow people, that space for, okay, we're being chaotic now. Just go for it, and we'll see what magic happens.
Yeah, sometimes. And what a lot of times we don't even think about is that there's someone flapping their arms saying, and so we're all like, or other times we'll simply be, mouthing stuff in the background, and then we ADR that stuff later. But in, like, for example, like the strawberries and radishes versus radishes episode, there's a lot of that going on, where we're just like, and some people are mic'd and some people aren't. And so there's a certain amount of control there.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so it sounds like there's like a foundation of control, but there's also room for like a little bit of improv.
Oh, there's plenty of improv.
Glorious.
Yeah, especially if we're playing. If you're throwing an ink spot on me, there's going to be improv.
Oh, I can't wait till we meet the ink spots. Yeah, talking about all of the very cool background critters that exist in this world.
Oh, the flora and fauna are so good.
Yeah.
We've seen some great ones so far, but the ink spots absolutely take the cake. And unfortunately, they haven't shown up yet in the original series.
No, not yet. Yeah, one of my favorite things is like running away or getting blasted out of a horn or something like that, and getting up and I'm okay. And just walking away.
Nice.
That's great.
So how does he convinces them all to stay and to reject this false idol?
Not till after the song.
Yeah, so at first he's like, trying to convince everyone like, hey, we don't actually need to go anywhere. And they just keep, going back to the chanting. And finally he's like, all right, have it your way. Like, they convince him like, okay, we'll all leave Fraggle Rock and you can go any place you want. And everyone's like, cool, let's all go pack our stuff. And Wembley is the only one who kind of lingers behind and sees Gobo, looking very sad. And so when Gobo starts to sing the song by himself, eventually Wembley joins in, and then, Moki and Red and Boober come back, and everyone starts to realize, like, oh, right, this place actually is all that we need. We don't need to go anywhere else. Yeah.
One detail that I love about that is that during the song, Boober is off to one side. So the Fraggle 4 are on one side, and Gobo walks over and he puts his arm through Boober's arm and he guides him closer to the fold.
Yeah.
Which I felt was just a beautiful, like, delicate moment of, hey, bud, I'm not going to force you, but we're arm in arm in this. Yeah. And, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do it together.
You're a part of this, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was beautiful.
Yeah.
I love this song. It's been, my intro says it's been 10 years since I've watched Fraggle Rock. At this point, it's been 12 or 13 years just because of how long it's gone making this show. How time works. And so there's so much music in Fraggle Rock that in going through it after all of this time, there's a lot that surprises me that I don't remember. For whatever reason, this song has stuck with me over the years. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that this was the episode the song was going to pop up in. For some reason, I thought it was one of the later seasons. And it's beautiful, like the harmony between Jerry and Steve when Wembley comes in the chorus. And it's just got such a sweet and sentimental melody to it. It's just one of those that has stuck with me for over a decade.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And at the end of the song, Boober has this little quiet moment of like, well, what are we going to do now? And, Gobo says, okay, we're going to take that box back to outer space where it belongs. And then, rallying everyone together. Are you with me? And Gillis is like, no, that's what I call leadership. And I was like, oh my gosh. Gillis didn't want a leader. He was doing that thing that my freshman English teacher did where he just gave up halfway through the school year and let us do this completely self-directed learning with self-given grades. I knew this guy had theater teacher vibes.
Going right back to because Boober, he's the only one that wipes a tear from his face without eyes. I mean, well, you can't see his eyes, but he's the only one that in the mix of that, he just kind of this really subtle like that, and that's Dave. That's the way Dave like works and weaves into it. It was such a great appropriate moment, and then they grab the thing to take it back.
My favorite Boober moment in this whole sort of sequence is they throw it out the hole, and there's like a whole bit where like Doc comes up and he's like, Sprocket, go get the radio, and they like bring the radio and Sprocket pulls it back. But they all leave and Boober stays and he says, goodbye, Sally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And not even like sad in a sad way, but like in a hopeful way.
Yeah.
Like Boober kind of still believes like maybe he will get to Sally Spotless Cleaner someday.
It feels really respectful.
Yeah.
In a way that really vibed with me.
Can we talk about Sprocket almost suffocating Gobo?
Yeah.
Like as they're trying to give the radio back.
Yeah, Gobo and Boober bring the radio, they position it at the hole to outer space, and Sprocket's paw appears through the hole and just kind of feeling around until it clamps onto Gobo's face.
And then it takes Doc to actually pull the thing out. And he pulls it out by the bulb?
Yeah, what the heck?
He like
sturdy bulb.
latches onto it. Yeah, he grabs onto it's half on the thing, but he's using that bulb to pull it out.
I mean, if he built it, I guess he knows if it's sturdy enough to take that.
Yeah. If you're looking at it as a show, if you're looking at it from like a shoot, I'm like, the props guys are going to be pissed. So yeah.
Jerry, no.
No, please.
I love that all of the Fraggles have come with them to return the radio. Like, okay, they got excited as a group, and now they're undoing the damage they did as a group. So it was like, oh man, this is like if in 2001 A Space Odyssey, the apes instead had just picked up the obelisk and yeeted it back into space.
Right.
Like, no, we're good.
We don't need this.
I love how they're behind the stanchion of the pipes, and they're like, you guys stay back there. Like, okay, yeah, thank God. That would have been a nightmare to puppeteer.
There's also a little moment where Wembley hits his head on the pipe, which just felt like a small callback to the previous episode that we just watched, where there was like just a scene where he ducked from the pipe and still hit his head on it.
Yeah.
Don't know if it was intentional or not, but I clocked that.
Yeah. It clocked him.
Yeah, true.
Oh.
And so the last note is Doc and Sprocket, and Doc being like, why would we want to listen to radio from the other side of the world? It probably wouldn't make any sense to us anyways. Which is fine.
Which is fine. I love that.
It's a solid button.
Well, so for me, it kind of hinges on, he says, this thing didn't belong in there. I wonder if it really belonged anywhere. I mean, what would people on the other side of the world think of us if they had to listen to this?
That does make sense, actually, yeah.
I bet they think we're pretty silly, huh, Sprocket? And I was like, indeed we are, Doc.
Some form of silly creature, even.
Mm-hmm. We are well named.
Indeed. Beth, do you want to tell us about the international versions?
Let's see here. According to Muppet Wiki, brief clips from the French version of this episode are shown in the Fraggle Rock Season 2 DVD interviews, segment titled Docs and Sprockets. The radio in this episode makes a cameo in A Muppet Family Christmas. It can be seen on the windowsill in Emily Bear's living room when Doc, Kermit, Sprocket, the Count, and Robin are looking out at the snowstorm while Kermit worries about Miss Piggy.
Whoa! Gonna keep an eye out for that when I watch Muppet Family Christmas in a month or two.
Yeah. And yeah, that's all it's got. Nothing about how the different international versions are different on this episode.
Shall we talk about how to make the world a little fragglier?
I will say that capitalism is ultimately not your friend. And so to make the world a little fragglier, maybe don't yeet your phone or computer into like a hole to another dimension of other creatures, but put it down. I don't want to say go touch grass, but like, take breaks from social media. Speaking as someone who capitalism and social media has gotten me before, it's just trying to take your money,
Mm-hmm.
There's other more better things to put your energy towards than buying into everything. I'm also so tired. Just, boo capitalism.
Welcome to season 2 of Fraggle Talk Classic. Like we said, even more tired.
Basically.
Season 2. Too tired to something.
Too tired to Fraggle.
Too tired to Fraggle.
What people don't know is that you're recording all of these at the same time. It's been a marathon of like months.
Oh yeah, we've been awake.
So-
We've been awake for weeks.
That's crazy. You
The
guys
Hat
are-
Man and the Eye Spiders are like so bored they're playing solitaire.
It certainly feels like it.
If you want to make the world a little fragglier, whenever somebody or something shows up promising amazing things, be skeptical. Be skeptical.
Yeah. If you want to make the world a little fragglier, don't always be concerned with being the one that's leading the pack. Sometimes you got to pull back.
Ooh, I like that.
It's not the world doesn't have to weigh on your shoulders. You're surrounded with appropriate people to help you through those moments of choice. It's not all about you. It's not all on you. So if you need help, reach out.
That's awesome.
Love that. I would say, yeah, similar to what Julia said. If you find yourself suddenly really wanting a thing that you didn't know existed 5 minutes ago, maybe step outside. Try and find your own voice again. When there are too many voices telling you what to do and telling you different things and you can't figure out which is the right one, you got to remember how to find your own voice.
Awesome.
I like that.
Thank you so much for being here with us, Dan.
Yeah, thank you
This
so
has been
much.
an absolute
Yeah.
delight. Also, I got to cross the little thing off my bucket list, so thank you for that.
So, Dan, where can people find you on social media?
Yeah, do you have anything you want to plug?
My Instagram and my Twitter, because X does not exist, are at Ottapez, Outtapez, because I used to collect Pez dispensers and I was always Ottapez.
Oh,
Hey, that's clever.
Yeah. That's what Oh, and sometimes you can hear me on different weird things on Netflix, like dubbed movies and stuff like that, Disney and stuff. So yeah, if you hear this, then that's me. So
Fantastic.
any exciting new projects that you're allowed to talk about?
not that I'm allowed to talk about, but there's a cool documentary that's coming out on, I think, November 19th that I got to dub. It'll be on Netflix. It's called The Lost Children.
Ooh.
And it's pretty intense. It's pretty intense. Yeah, and we're doing Puppet Up in a while. I think I'm on the roster. I don't know.
Oh wait, that's the improv show, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah. I get to do it every once in a while, but they haven't put out the cast listings yet, so I can't say whether I am or I'm not. But it's a great show, regardless.
Here's hoping. Hey, Beth, Julia, you want to plug your pluggables?
Yeah, you can find me on social media at Beth Anna Cook. That's Anna with 2 N's, and occasionally writing stuff for Tough Pigs.
Yay!
And you can find me at Geek Girl Grown Up on social media, also occasionally writing for Tough Pigs, and at juliagaskell.com if you happen to enjoy poetry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can find me as a large lump behind the curtains, but don't say anything because my little cousin is looking for me. Because it's my turn to hide.
All right, that is all for this one. Reminder to check out toughpigs.com. Give us a good review on your podcatcher of choice, and we will see you next time.
Don't forget to dance your cares away.
Down at Fraggle Talk.
Wow.
Fraggle Talk Classic is brought to you by toughpigs.com. Fraggle Talk art by Dave Hulteen Jr. The Fraggle Rock mark and logo, characters, and elements are trademarks of the Jim Henson Company. All rights reserved. The Fraggle Rock theme song, written by Philip Balsam and Dennis Lee, is used with permission. Special thanks to the Jim Henson Company and the entire Fraggle Rock family. For more from Tough Pigs, please find us at Tough Pigs on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, TeePublic, and Patreon. Fraggle Talk Classic is produced and edited by me, Beth Cook. Thank you to Joe Hennis, the Tough Pigs Muppet Fan Podcast executive producer. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time, down at Fraggle Talk.
But don't say anything because my little cousin is looking for me. Because it's my turn to hide.
That was a dog. Sorry.
Perfect.
Just
Blame the dog.
No, that's perfect.
Mhm.
All right. Oh, there's a little Muppet that Julia is dog sitting. Oh.
Uh-huh.
he's been on my lap for most of the time, but then he started
That's very
trying to
sweet.
get on the table, so he went to the ground.
Oh, silly
Anyway.
little thing.
Sorry to disrupt the dismount of the episode.
Oh, that's great.